Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Accounting Nightmare. Welcome Tag, welcome Rose, welcome Croaker. Welcome to the stream. I didn't know you could add witch hats to emotes at the moment. That's really cool, I love it. Hey Wild Knight, welcome. You tried to play DMC1 today because you never really played the series. Stopped quickly after dying and not wanting to waste a yellow orb. Yeah, number 1 is pretty tough to go back to with the live system. Might just skip to 3 and go back to 1 later. Yeah, 3 lets you pick the gold orb system instead of the yellow orb system, which lets you just have infinite continues pretty much, so... Yeah, I wish you could add infinite lives to 1. I still love DMC1 though. Okay, well, I did a short stream yesterday, so I think I'm up for another stream today. So, we'll just see how long I go for. If my voice gets sore, I'll just stop and rest tomorrow. But this case is real good, so I want to see more. Oh, hey Panicking, welcome. Never played 1 or 2, but it's hard to imagine a game harder than 3. Yeah, 1 is weird because, since it doesn't have... Probably more used to the actual combat. Number 1 does feel really different than the other games though. It feels a lot kind of heavier. And there's a lot fewer moves to play with. Yeah, I do love number 1. It's just, it's got a lot of weird little things to learn about it. It does feel quite different. Yeah, and it's got basically limited continues, so you really want to save your yellow orbs for when you're deeper in the game. So kind of restarting levels over is very common in number 1, unfortunately. Does 3 let you use jump on X? Yeah, 3 lets you completely rebind controls from what I remember. Yeah, I moved jump to a different button, so yeah, you can do that. No level select? Yeah, there's no level select in 1, sadly. I wish they would have added that to the HD collection, because that would have been really nice. Anyways, Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Right, so we finally got up to middle part 2 yesterday. So we're looking into the incident from 12 years ago, the SS5 incident, where the president of Jangfa was kidnapped. We never found out who the kidnapper was, and there was a witness to the crime who was murdered. And, well, we found out that John Marsh is actually the president's son. So that's quite a big reveal. And pretty upsetting because John thinks he accidentally killed the president. Look at all these characters, there's so many. It's great. Then again, you're very forgiving on janky mechanics on older games, as long as it wasn't terrible. Yeah, I can be a bit more forgiving of janky stuff, I think. Depends. Yeah, I still love number 1, but it is very different from the others. Alright, April 6, 4:51 PM, outside Grand Tower, temporary film lot. John. So that guy was my dad. He found out about his own birth so suddenly. Yeah, so we found out Courtney adopted him. And his actual mother was Jill Crane. Oh, wait, no, was it Jill? Was it Jill Crane? No, it wasn't Jill Crane, it was someone else. Who was Jill Crane? Oh yeah, Jill Crane was the partner of the witness who was murdered 12 years ago. Okay. And his mother was someone else. Amy Marsh, there you go. Thanks. Thanks, Rose. Yeah, his mother died 5 years ago. And they'd kept him being the son of the president of Jangfa as a secret. So he ended up getting adopted by Courtney, who was a friend of Amy Marsh, I think. Yeah, was Cameron's lover. Yeah, that's it. That's why Jill Crane wanted revenge for 12 years ago, because of her partner getting killed as a witness. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. I'd always been searching for my dad. John. I get it, alright? He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation. But we even met face to face during the filming. So then, why? Huh? Why didn't he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. Aww. Mum, you don't need to apologise. No matter how you look at it, it's all my fault. Yesterday, I broke my promise with you and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. My dad. And those flowers that my mum carefully grew. John. Please. For now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay? Ian not remembering names is very in character as Edgeworth. Yes, it is. The bond between a parent and a child. That's the meaning behind lion lilies. I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Jingfar. However, we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Lang, allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it? Yeah, you're right. The recreation of the past has finished. Were your father's deductions correct? My old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So, who knows if they were right or not? In that case, what about your own deductions? I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation. In order for us to get closer to the truth of 12 years ago. Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now. My old man's back, real close. I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my old man uncovered. Anyway, while they're having a little moment, we're just gonna talk about the case. Welcome, Deleter. Welcome to the stream. Truth of the SS5 incident. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. However, the president was kidnapped, and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping, with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken. Was that what really happened 12 years ago? Updated. Okay. However, there's one thing I still don't get. Something you don't get. It's this. Why did they need to take a fake photo? Why would they go through all that trouble and even make the president take part in the photo? That's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deductions, we shall surely reach it. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well. I thought it was to make sure that the orphanage wasn't connected to the case. Someone about to get banished to the chess realm? Oh, not yet, sadly. We're doing the testimony realm. Courtney hugging John tightly while Edgy and Lang just headbutt each other repeatedly 2 feet away. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. Agent Lang, I'd like to verify a few things that may have seemed obvious at first glance. Are we certain that the president actually went to the orphanage? Okay, I get it. You're saying you want proof. Everyone's always demanding proof from Mr. Edgeworth, after all. You didn't have to tell him that. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. You mean this stuffed animal? The one with the recording device? That's right. Inside that toy was a recording from John's birth mother, Amy Marsh. Indeed. She said that she would meet with him at midnight. Wow! You two are perfectly in sync. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling off the layers of a scallion. Okay, a scallion doesn't have anything on the inside. Please don't make such foreboding analogies. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling off the skin of a wolf. Oh no, no, not that! Can you stop making those foreboding analogies? Let's get back on track. However, the president was kidnapped, and Cameron just happened to witness it. I'd also like to verify the details of this point as much as possible. Mr. Cameron witnessed the president and his kidnapper near the orphanage. And Mr. Cameron was standing by the snowman near the road. Then, the murderer picked up a brick, snuck up on him from behind, and wham! Eek! Okay, we are simply verifying what actually transpired. There's no need to be scared. Oh, that was so intense. Half the details of this case just vanished from my brain. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Lang, let's carefully verify all the facts of this case. Yeesh. Well, if you're gonna listen, I'll talk as much as you want. Zavari, the truth is becoming clear to me now. I keep forgetting about Zavari, that catchphrase. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. If he hadn't been there, you say? That's an interesting theory. Care to explain it in more detail? It's simple. Cameron was killed because he saw the kidnapping. The kidnapping itself was a success. If he hadn't been there, no blood would have been spilled. No blood would have been spilled. You make it sound like it was his own fault for being there. Okay, that's not it. What Agent Lang's trying to say is... simply, besides Mr. Cameron, there were no other casualties at the crime scene. Ah, was that all? Of course, that's obvious. The president was kidnapped, but... once the ransom money was paid, he was returned safe and sound. That sounds like an obvious point. However, something about it bothers me. I may need to re-evaluate the evidence once more. You done explaining things to your assistant? I still have one last thing to confirm. Fake photo was taken. Just see what he says to this. Is this the truth of the SS5 incident? Mr. Edgeworth, what's the matter? There is still something hidden behind this case. Huh? What do you mean? There is a piece of evidence that cannot be explained by Agent Lang's theory. As long as there's a contradiction, we'll have to present it in order to advance our reasoning. In other words, I've got to point something out. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken. The body moved to the flower beds. That's also an important point. I'd like to take another good clean look at the information. Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's start with what Cameron saw before he was murdered. Cameron witnessed the president and the kidnapper in front of the orphanage. However, the culprit wanted to conceal the connection between the incident and the orphanage. That's right. That's why Cameron's original roll of film was disposed of. And a fake photo was taken of them standing outside the grounds of the orphanage. Yes, and Cameron's body was then moved to match the photo. Grr. It's finally becoming clear. The secret that was buried in the snow for 12 years. Is this the truth? Yeah, we've seen that dialogue. Okay, so what's out of place? The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh, so I think that was... Hang on, what did the toy say? Oh, I wanted to listen to the audio. Not allowed. How rude. Investigation notes. The president had an appointment at midnight in the courtyard of the orphanage to meet with Amy Marsh. Jack Cameron was a witness. His body seems to have been moved, and a fake photo was taken to serve as evidence. Calm down there, Kay. You aren't out in the wilderness trying to survive by making a wolfskin coat. Yup. Oh. An appointment at midnight. When was the murder? It was at like 1 AM though, wasn't it? It was an hour later. I wonder if I can point out that discrepancy. Probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. I mean, that makes sense. Planning to meet with Amy Marsh. Well, the meeting must have been successful because he ended up with the doll. Guess he was kidnapped on his way back out, maybe? Oh, I'll try pointing out the doll. I forget if we established if they actually met or not. Nope. Contradicts this piece of evidence. Playing games with me. I think we've seen this dialogue. That's right, Lauren calls this guy not so fast man. Your cat's a ball on the bed. Oh, it's so cute. I love how they curl into just this tight little ball. Oh, it's the cutest dang thing. Cameron just happened to witness it. So is there a possibility that they were planning on killing this guy? Yeah, I don't think the flowers have anything to do with it yet. Oh, they had replacement shoes for him. Yeah, how do they have shoes ready? Oh my god, there's so many pages. No? Okay. I thought that makes sense. Sad. Child's drawing. Haven't really taken a close look at this. The clock says midnight. Are we to trust that though? What's that dog there? There's a dog. A black dog. Still don't know who this bloodstain belonged to. What was his testimony? In front of the facility now, something's not right. Right, I wonder why he was there in the first place. They also had a replacement roll of film ready for this camera, which also suggests that they knew he would be there. Nope, that's not right either. My logic! I think it's good, but oh well. That's a better drawing than any of Larry's sketches we've seen, let's be real. Yeah, Larry's drawings are pretty good, actually. I'll give him credit for that. Not so fast Wolfman, or NSFW man for short. That's really good. You think Jay was dreaming earlier? He was making weird noises in his sleep. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to reload to get my health back. Seems to be feeling better. Oh, he was the one with the saw? Okay. I'm glad he's feeling better. Trying to find which thread the game wants me to pick at. Alright, hang on. When did he say there were no casualties? Because we can point at the mysterious bloodstain. And wham. Yeah, his story doesn't explain the bloodstain. That might be it. Which statement do I present it at? Not that one. These games really depict Edgeworth as a huge bluffer. From what I remember, Phoenix, whenever we presented the wrong thing, he was like, maybe it's this? Yeah, Edgeworth is just like, is this? Oh, you can't see? Oh. And just pretends to be all smug until he gets called out. I'll try presenting the bloodstain here. There Yay! I found the right thing. Victory! If the eyewitness, Cameron, had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there would have been no need to commit murder, right? And what if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There was a large bloodstain near the flower beds. However, Cameron was murdered near the snowman. Ergo, this bloodstain could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled, and quite a vast amount at that. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, do you have any idea what you're saying? I do. It's hard to believe, however, that is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there were 2 murders. Are you saying that the other murder was covered up? Who? Just who the heck could have been killed? A murder that was cleverly concealed. All traces of it were erased, and the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there's one thing, one piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. Case badge. Agent Lang, this is the piece of evidence that shows what happened on that night. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, is that really it? That piece of evidence doesn't tell me anything at all. Ugh, looks like this wasn't it. There should be one more eyewitness who saw what happened on that night. The kid, I guess? Hang on, let me save. I'm starting to wonder if the president was actually killed and was replaced? Since... But they keep saying it was like he was a different person, but how would they have replaced him? I should show Agent Lang the evidence that proves that. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, just who are you saying was killed on that night? I mean, I can show... I don't... But the kid wasn't killed because they drew the picture. I'll show the... The other murder incident was buried in the dark by Blaze the Best. Yes, I guess we're saying that Sirhan Dogan killed the president, I think. However, there is still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lang, it survived by your father's hands. My old man, you say? Please recall. There was one more thing that was hidden along with the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Blaze make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What was the thing he wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture. The drawing my old man had. The person drawn on the right is most likely the president. The Moozilla doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite him is... Agent Lang. Isn't this the person standing opposite him? Is it really that person? They don't look very similar. Given that it's a child's drawing, it can't be helped if they're not too similar. Even if it's a child's drawing, I don't think that's it, sir. To think even the detective rejected my theory. I think the person in the picture has some unique characteristics. That's right. It looks like he has a knife and a black dog with him. A knife and a black dog. I think I have a hunch who that person is. So in the end, who's the person in this drawing? Sorry, there's no mistake that the person drawn on the right is the president. There he is. Sirhan Dogan. Is every bad occurrence in this game because of Blaze? Maybe. A man with a knife and a large black dog. He is none other than Sirhan Dogan. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night on the orphanage grounds 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. He's howling. Then Miss Rowland and Mr. Blaze were... Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as the scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination itself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened. Stop messing around. You're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago? We just found his body today. He's been alive up until now. That's right. I mean, we met him ourselves. If the president was assassinated 12 years ago, and the president's body was found today, that would imply there were two presidents. Yeah, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There is the possibility that there were two presidents. Let's save. Lang, you can't just howl by shouting the word howl at the top of your lungs. Amazing how much Blaze's beard looked like smoke in that art. Ah, I didn't notice that. That's right. Up until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. Even so, I still respect the man. Jengfar is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. The image of President Huang that Agent Lang described. You were wrong. He revealed his true form. Differs far too greatly from the President Huang we knew. It's as if they were two entirely different people. If there were, in fact, two Jengfar presidents, exactly how would such a scenario be possible? What would make the existence of the two presidents possible? Save. Okay, this is a better spot to save. Double presidents. One of them was a body double. The victim looked like the president. I think body double is what we want. Twin brother. Perhaps President Huang had a twin brother. If that's the case, it certainly wouldn't be strange if there were two presidents, sir. Unfortunately for you, the president was an only child. What? Is it so? As I thought, it's impossible for there to be two presidents, isn't it? No, there was a possibility that there were two presidents. The person killed 12 years ago just happened to look like the president. If we think of it like that, wouldn't it all make sense? Take a good look at the boy's drawing that you brought out. No matter how you look at it, this guy is President Huang. Oh, it's just as Agent Lang says. As I thought. It's impossible for there to be two presidents, isn't it? Okay, just gonna get my health back. We don't want another one of those, yes. Yeah. President 2. That day, if our positions were switched, would our lives be different? Would I now have your life and you mine? Cue Bury the Light. And Jengfar Special Edition trailer. If we were to assume that one of them was a body double, wouldn't it be possible then? A body double. President Huang possessed immense power and authority in Zhengfa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Gourd Lake. It's true, there were those who sought Huang's life from time to time. But I can't easily believe there were two presidents. At least, not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? Badge. If you look at this evidence, you'll see that there were two presidents. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Unfortunately, I have no idea what you're talking about. Lang Zi says, evidence doesn't speak. Evidence with no meaning won't tell us anything. Oh, looks like this wasn't it. If only we knew that the president was in two different places at the same time. Oh, okay. Then we could prove that there were two people. Let's look at the evidence and reorganize the incident again. How could there have been two Mr. Huangs? As I suspected, it's impossible. If you want to say there were two people, show me the proof. I'm just going to reload again. Because we're losing a lot of health. Yeah, someone mentioned, I think it was Shelley the Killer actually who mentioned something about him using body doubles. At the time I was like, that seems important. At the time I thought maybe this person who was killed wasn't actually the president, but a body double. But, well, I mean, I was right, but not the way I expected. I didn't expect him to have been dead already for 12 years. My badge decreased, so therefore it is. Two different places at the same time. Was never seen coming down. I don't think it has anything to do with this. Does this prove anything? Incident files. On the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. Yep, there we go. But he was in the courtyard at midnight. Okay. Has Agent Lang not noticed this contradiction? Or has he noticed it, but can't admit it? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. According to the recording on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. However, that should not have been possible. Huh? Why is that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Lang's father. So, Agent Lang, you really did notice. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents. Howl! Then, which of the two was the real president on that day, 12 years ago? Most likely the one who died. Who? Who contracted Dogen to murder Huang? In order to learn that, first, we must have a look at the evidence that we proved was false earlier. And the piece of evidence we know to be false is... Lots of things back to back here. The Moozilla movie flyer. Agent Lang, take a look at this. What about it? This is the evidence that shows who planned the assassination plot against President Huang. It was Moozilla. Agent Lang, I know it's hard to believe, but this is the truth. No, Mr. Prosecutor. I was just speechless because your reasoning was so crazy. Oh, he sure doesn't hold back. The person who killed the real president and took his place. Alright, let's save. Hey Xiao, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. So we have discovered that the president was actually killed 12 years ago. And he's been replaced by a body double all this time. That person is without a doubt the one behind this incident. I must show Agent Lang the evidence that proves who that person was. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. You already realised who's behind the plot, right? Yes. I will show you that evidence right now. Wow, Blaze. Wow, Blaze is a monster. Well, we know the photo was the one that was fake. The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who is the president pictured in the fake photo? We must consider him to be the body double. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. That does look like smoke. Well, that's cool. Patricia Rowland and Blaze must have cooperated in that plan. Hold it! Huang's body was never found. Just where could it have disappeared to? The answer to that is already quite apparent. That was the thing that they buried. Wasn't the ransom money at all. They buried his body. Yeah, this got real big suddenly. It was a Snatcher. I haven't actually seen or played any Snatcher. Nice watching, listening to my stream while you study. Ooh, nice. Good luck with your studies. This is where the real president's body was. It was in this photo. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Can you put the jokes aside? I can't believe that Mr. Huang's body was in that kind of place. Gah, I guess it wasn't there. This is the place that the real president was killed. Furthermore, what was the person responsible doing here? If I think about that, I'm sure to know the location of the president's body. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Where did the president's body disappear to? Maybe you really don't have an answer for that. No, Agent Lang. The answer to that is already quite apparent. Alright, now I reload. Get some health back. Hello, sweetie. Sorry for all the reloads. It's quite a lot of little moments back to back that we have to show things. So I guess that's why that person who was checking out the bag hasn't come back yet. Oh, actually they're probably dead, because I bet Sihan went to retrieve the bag. Well, okay. The real president's body. I'll show the footprints. Or I could show the thing that tells him to go dig up something. Yeah, I'll show you this. No, not that? Okay. Well, see, that's why I save. Save and reload. Hello, sweetie. You want dinner already? Well, you got half an hour to wait, okay? Guess I'll show the footprint. Last night, there was something Blaze had to unearth with his own 2 hands. I know, I think the report should have also worked for this. That item was not the ransom. It was something far more important. Oh, so Blaze unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high. What'd you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would have still remained. According to Mr. Powers, construction was to begin soon at this lot. That was the deadline, both for the movie and retrieval of the body. Because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lang, let us search the footprints that Blaze dug up. Yeah. If the body was buried there, there'd be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics. I have the results of the search. We've found traces in the dirt that suggest a body was buried here. So it was Huang after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains that Blaze de Best dug up. They were in his home. Here we go, thank you. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records and the bone fractures all match up. We can confirm that it was indeed President Huang. So the real President Huang was indeed killed 12 years ago. The SS5 incident was a murder. Wow. Well then. So the SS5 incident was actually a murder incident. But there's so much information. It's way too confusing. Indeed. Let us take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? 12 years ago, the true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. The footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the president at that time. President Huang was supposed to meet his son here. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin, Sihan Dogan. He came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead. How horrible. A man like Dogan shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed. Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. After the real president was killed by Dogan, his body was carried to the rear courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment from the orphanage entrance, although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed a kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double who had come to meet up with Blaze and Miss Rowland was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. And then the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So, was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that seems likely. But there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. Heh, I've already figured out how he accomplished that. By saving my game. How's this for a friggin' scoop, Lotta? Yes! You had to leave to do some stuff. Do you even dare ask what you missed? Oh boy. Well, we figured out that the president was actually killed 12 years ago. And he's been replaced by a body double all this time. Yeah, that's where all that mysterious blood came from. And the thing that was buried, that Blaze was trying to recover, was the remains of the president. Yeah, so it seems like a... I don't know who the body double was, as to why they're in on all this. But yeah, Patricia Rowland, Blaze the Best, Sirhan Dogan, and this body double were all a team. Yeah, it seems like the president was killed by Sirhan Dogan. There is a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. What did the body double use to move the body without leaving any footprints? A combination lock. The double likely used this to move Mr. Cameron's body. Whoa! He used that to move the body? How would that actually work? He... used trick after trick and put in a lot of effort. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let's be honest and recognise our mistakes, okay? It appears this wasn't it. The body double's footprints should have been left at the scene, but they aren't. On the other hand, the victim's footprints are clearly there. I already have the evidence that ties these two facts together. Now let's just reload again. Yeah, I think this is where the shoes come in. Yeah, I think that's why he turned away the Lang clan, because they would have realised he was a double. He used trick after trick and tried really hard. That's amazing. Oh. This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real president at the time. If he made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real president. Since the shoes were the same, there would only be one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think I've got a pretty good grasp on the SS5 incident now. Wait, so why did they replace his shoes? I don't get it. Okay, I don't fully understand the shoe thing yet. But there's still one thing I don't get. What's that? Why did they need to stage the abduction? Because Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident. He saw the president at the orphanage. He left behind witness testimony on Miss Crane's answering machine. Even Blaze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. And that's why they prepared the fake kidnapping charade. The people in the fake photo are the body double, and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland? What makes you say that? The two would have to leave the orphanage in order to take the picture. Just like when he moved the body, the double used the real president's footprints. So the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed. We originally believed that those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints, too small for Blaze's feet. Thus, we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadow of the presidential kidnapping was a presidential assassination. I see. So that's why my old man... Why he... what? The old man must have realised that a murder had taken place. After all, he had the kid's drawing. However, that picture was never presented as evidence. Your father likely took it from the young witness during the investigation and hid it. He had to have known that Huang was dead. But what if he had revealed that back then? Revealed the death of the president, the backbone of Zhengfa? It would have caused chaos. And that's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He even took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that would be the fall of House Lang. So this is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. And now it's all become clear. Well. Kinda an evil Yatagarasu trio going on there. Yeah, actually. So this body double, Roland and Blaze, all sucked a whole lot, huh? Yep. Wow. To think, I felt bad for Patricia at the end of case 2. Hey Lewis, welcome. Welcome to the stream. A lot of stuff has happened. Uh-oh. Who's this gonna be? We found out that the president was killed 12 years ago. It was an assassination plot, not a kidnapping plot. And he's been replaced by a body double all this time. And it was actually the body double who was killed a couple days ago. Is that really the case, I wonder? Huh? What? Who's there? Dogen? That bell. It's... Sirhan Dogen. Wow. You! Why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just... well... Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Huang. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I'm searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat. What the frick's going on? Yeah, we found out this guy escaped from prison. Somehow. The red raincoat? Who is this person? I suspect that it's the same person as the Mastermind you were searching for. Someone you've been searching for. The one in the red hood. The red hood? I thought it was him. Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. Okay. Is anyone going to arrest him? He broke out of prison. We're just going to have a conversation with him. Why is his head like that? I don't know. To make him look scary, I guess. The person Kay saw before she fell, yeah. Dogen's savior. Certainly, it was I who killed President Huang. Arrest him! Someone! However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. So your client was indeed the body double, who was the main perpetrator of the crime. It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. There have been countless attempts on my life, not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the president does. Tell me, just what is the difference between him and me? The difference was great. While the voice and style of speech may be the same, one can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced. I suppose his own weaknesses cost him in his quest to become a leader. Now that Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Perhaps the king and his knight were not so different after all. The double believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country. So, he joined forces with Blaze. After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with the meeting at the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. He must be referring to Patricia Rowland. Well, given what I've told you, do you realise the whereabouts of the young acolyte now? You mean the boy who saved you? But how do you know that he is the mastermind? That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. Oh, you're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank. They probably don't want to get near an assassin. Yeah. And that's fair. A prank. Not at all. On that night, 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo. It seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from his hiding place. Apparently he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte sometime later. It seemed he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then, the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil near the igloo over the snow. Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. Oh, no way! So he set the fire in order to... All their focus was diverted towards the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. So, the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case. Wouldn't they have left footprints all the way over there, though? The whole footprints thing is getting a bit too convoluted for me to follow. This kid was vicious. Yeah, I mean, was it to kill her? Maybe? Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy, yes it is. Dogen's savior. Certainly, it was I who killed President Huang. You admitted that rather easily. These days, I have long grown tired of killing. But in those halcyon days, I devoted myself to the path of an executioner. If one cannot admit that much, what can he admit? Right, Anubis? Yes, yes, my boy. I feel like he's saying something scary, but it's kind of hard to understand him. This fallen priest is saying he has no feelings about the president's death. Dogen, the assassin and escaped prisoner. He should be a despicable opponent, but silencing him now would be imprudent. I must keep my composure and let him talk. I understand your point. You killed the president. That is correct. The aim of my blade never misses its mark. However, my life was also targeted on that day. Your life was targeted? You, the assassin. The hunter becomes the hunted. The Buddhist becomes the Buddha. Kay, You don't have to make up strange proverbs. I was gonna say, what? Life is transient, especially for an assassin, whose life is always exposed to danger. So, does that mean people you've tried to kill have fought back? That is a rare occurrence. However, this was different. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Sirhan Dogan, you are a master assassin. As such, could you not have evaded an attack from those three and fled the scene? You greatly overestimate me. Without Anubis by my side, I would not even be able to walk about. If those three were to attack me all at once, I would not stand a chance. I see. So even an assassin will fall to superior numbers in a frontal assault. Right, get him! Get him! I suppose one could say that. I, Sirhan Dogan, would have suffered a shameful defeat. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. I wonder if I'm meant to just listen to his story or if I'm meant to poke holes in it. Hang on, I just want to see what he says. What's said at the end here? Mr. Dogan and that acolyte seem to share a complicated relationship, huh? Perhaps there is a hint to the Mastermind's motive hidden somewhere in his testimony. Dogan is one of the few people who knows the Mastermind firsthand. Let's try to draw out as much information as possible from him. Actually, I wonder if we have different failure dialogue for this guy. Like presenting the wrong thing. Because we have already done this in case 2. Let's just see. Check out this badge. It's pretty. Dogan, there is a clear contradiction in your testimony. There is no need to raise your voice. I can hear the good prosecutor perfectly well. Talking so loud only makes it harder to conceal your mistakes. Oh, I guess that was his roundabout way of saying I was wrong. You can't let an old man like that beat you, Mr. Edgeworth. My opponent is not an ordinary old man. However, I will prove that I can break his testimony without fail. I'm not sure if that was new or not. Let's see if there's anything else in. Dogan, what do you think of this piece of evidence? Ask as you will. I am still lacking in sight. However, if one would like to retract that, now would be the proper time to do so, wouldn't you think? But is he trying to say I was wrong? Although, if one were to retract it, perhaps one should not have brought it out to begin with. Right, Anubis. Right, boy. That old man really doesn't miss a beat, does he? I was overwhelmed and put the evidence back into my organizer. I should probably think things over a little more carefully. Yeah, this is new dialogue. Dogan, there's a contradiction in your testimony. I can't see any problems, but... Anubis, what do you think? Heh, Anubis also says there is no contradiction. Yeah, refuted by a dog. He can talk to the dog, just like John can talk with the mighty Moozilla. Don't put me in the same class as Gramps. Talking with dogs aside, I need to think things over one more time. Talking with dogs aside. Very good. Yeah, How old was this kid at the time? Had I not... Hang on, what are we... Pretty sure we've pressed that one. Let's just double check. Yeah, we have pressed this one. It's the other two. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. Reunited? So, when did you first meet with him? That would be 18 years ago, on the 24th of December. Really? Really now? 18 years ago, on the 24th of December. Is it one of their sons? Brains melting! That is a rather long time ago. On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. That's when Anubis noticed something and started running. I followed after him and found a car. I had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. In the back seat, there were 2 young children, shivering from the cold. The real question is, was it past midnight? Yeah, it seems like that doesn't matter at all anymore. Can't believe Edgeworth just got suplexed by a dog. 2 children. 2 children? Had they remained in the car for an hour longer, they surely would have frozen to death. I brought the 2 of them to a nearby orphanage. Is there anything about Dogen's story that concerns me? Nah, nothing. I don't think there's anything in particular that stands out. Dogen, please continue your testimony. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. And now you're searching for the boy from all those years ago. Surely you're not saying you want to thank him for saving you? Well, who knows? However, the young one did save my life. That is the truth. Even Anubis took a liking to him. He would do tricks for him, such as shake or roll over. I thought that the tricks Dogen taught his dog were a little bit different from the norm, though. You were right about that. For Anubis, roll over means first biting the victim's foot. Stop, stop, stop! I don't want to hear anymore. Same. Testimony not sus here. That dog doesn't seem to age. Yeah, actually. 18 years ago. There is no need to worry. I only showed the young one ordinary tricks. I get the feeling that Dogen, in his own way, felt indebted to the boy. Mr. Dogen and that acolyte seem to share a complicated relationship, huh? A hint to the Mastermind's motive. Yeah, we've read this dialogue. Alright, well, let's go ask about the 2 kids. But the cat alarm's going off. Hello? She was already in here. I guess we'll find out about the kids after we feed the cat. First cat, then kids. Hello, sweetie. How you doing? Did you want food? Aww. This intense music for cat patting. Night, Rose. Thanks for hanging out. Dang Cleo and a need for food, yes. I also need to go to the bathroom and get some more water, so I shall do that. Let's save. I'll be back as soon as I can, because I'm very enthralled by this as well. Okay, give you all some music. Restless people. Not this one, no. This one's too jaunty for what's going on. Hey, Sihan Dogan. There we go. We'll give you his theme. Alright. I shall be back. I'm gonna feed this cat. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, it was a bit of a longer break than I was expecting, but I ended up getting some honey as well for my voice. Okay. Boop. We're back. I've got the honey right here, actually. I'll just... Okay. The cat's been fed. She's here still, actually. She's being cute and playful. Can't reach. You can kind of see cat. The cable is caught on something, so that's the closest I can get. Okay. This case is amazing. This game is amazing. Right. Where was the one about the kids? Yeah, this one. Three kidnappings, 2 assassins, and a strange quote from Langzy. Like my song? So what happened to the other kid? There is something. What concerns me is the model of the car. It's definitely the model of the car. Well, it's the date and the number of kids. The model of the car. What was the model of the car the children were in? The model of the car? What would you want to know that for? It was a typical mid-sized car, the kind you see everywhere. Other than the freezing children sitting inside, there was nothing unusual about it. Looks like the car model is of no real importance. Are we done talking about this subject yet? The date and the number of children. We'll go number for now. There were 2 children in the car. You're sure of that? It may have been 18 years ago, but I remember it clearly. There were 2 children in the car. There is no mistaking it. Does the good prosecutor have a problem with that number? Right now, the number of children isn't what I have a problem with. The date. The 24th of December, 18 years ago. Are you sure about that? There is no mistake. Could that mean... I know. The significance behind that date. What shows the significance of the date when Dogan found the children? Moozilla's head! This piece of evidence is connected to that date, isn't it? How exactly is it connected? I don't know what the good prosecutor brought out, but I can sense that there is no real connection behind it. Dogan saw through it. Mr. Dogan found the children on December 24th. Let's try looking at the evidence again with that date in mind. Should I reload to get health? Yeah, might as well. I don't know how long this section's going to be, so... Let's get health back, and also drink some honey while we do it. Alright. Oh yes, 7. No clues to whereabouts of Dover's son or Gustavia's son. That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. Ah! During that incident, 2 young boys went missing. Sons of the victim, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dame Gustavia. We never did find out where those 2 boys went after the case 18 years ago. Oh, they were the sons of a victim and a culprit. It all makes sense now. What makes sense? One of the youths was bound so that he could not move. Mr. Dover did it so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue. Indeed, Gustavia was using his own son as a taste tester. To think that was what transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened. They lost their memories. The acolyte told me this when we reunited 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation, on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name. So they didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia. Indeed. While we cannot say it conclusively, the probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the Mastermind's identity. So he got rid of his own son as well? Jeez. And he was just going to let them freeze to death. Ugh. Yeah, honey's a common thing to help with the throat. Yeah, I've heard lemon and certain kinds of tea as well, so I think I'll try those at some point. Amnesiac kids. Sounds familiar. Dogen, would you please continue your story? Very well. Dogen and the Acolyte. I continued my correspondence with the young Acolyte even after entering prison. Yeah, so right now I'm thinking it's the killer who is the mastermind. That's what I'm thinking. He's tied to all this somehow. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however. It left me quite concerned. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents, one by one. I grew more and more curious, and so I absconded briefly from the prison. So he could have left whenever he wanted, apparently. Or he knew how to escape. Those involved 12 years ago were Patricia Rowland, Blaze the Best, and President Huang's body double. And Miss Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison. Oh wait, his correspondence was with Knightley. Hang on, was Knightley the... And Miss Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison. I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutor has already deduced the reason? You murdered President Huang. However, the world still believed he was alive. If you were able to prove the president was a fake, both Patricia Rowland and Blaze the Best would have been in danger. That is correct, and I had heard the proof with my own ears. I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. Who might you be? My apologies, but I am presently waiting for someone. Oh. The killer's a bit too old. Yeah, I don't think we know his age. He does look pretty old though, you're right. I am well aware of that. President Huang, are you not meeting with your son? However, I do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I seek only the President's life. It can't be. But please wait. I'm just about to meet my son for the first time. I'm sure this will be the first and the last time. Please, at least wait until we are finished. I had thought the President would beg for his life, but he was of a different sort. Officially, the President had no son. However, he shook his head and said, this illegitimate son was his, and he intended to recognize him publicly. Furthermore, he claimed that he had already made preparations towards that end. Would that son of his be the boy with horns over there, by any chance? Boy with the horns? Wait, you can see John's horns? There is no need to see them. From the moment I escaped from prison until now, I have been closely lending an ear to your voices. He said that the President made preparations towards recognizing his son. But the word preparations alone would be insufficient for blackmail. That's it. There was one thing that could prove Huang's words. The will held by the House of Lang. It was also proof of his trust in us. His son's existence would have been revealed to the world. The name on the recording, the mention of preparations, and the will in Zhengfa. Together, they suffice to make the Warden bow to my words. With those three pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double. By using John. Blood test. Yep. Yeah, how old was Knightley? Yeah, I'm suspicious of Knightley as well. He was 24. Yeah, could have been him. We didn't really know much about Knightley, to be honest, did we? The President blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. As pieces of it fell atop the snow, I struck once more. This time, the blow proved fatal. So Dogen cut off the Moozilla doll's horn. None but I heard his final words. Only myself and that child knew of the President's secret son. Didn't even let him meet his son, jeez. What a jerk. I continued my correspondence with the young acolyte, even after entering prison. In other words, you contacted him from prison. That is correct. A post office box was used. A post office box? It would allow one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location. I could not use a form of correspondence that would reveal the acolyte's location. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondences, after all. He must mean the prison warden, Patricia Rowland. Could you be more specific about the nature of your correspondences? Well, they were mainly moves for my correspondence chess matches. Correspondence chess? If I recall, the person you were playing against... This might be hard to believe, but Dogen's chess opponent was... Ah, are you saying he was playing against Mr. Knightley? Wasn't it Horace Knightley? We certainly found the correspondence chess memo in Knightley's cell. Does that mean Knightley boy was the kid from the IS-7 incident? Could that really be true? Is there any evidence connecting Knightley to the IS-7 incident? Wasn't expecting to get pulled into this. Badge. Mr. Shields, I'd like you to take a look at this piece of evidence. What about it? Are you saying it's evidence that connects Knightley Boy to the IS-7 incident? Uncle Ray doesn't think it has anything to do with the incident at all, though. Perhaps I should think it over one more time. Why don't you look over Knightley Boy's belongings one more time? Something related to the IS-7 incident just might pop out. Knightley's belongings, huh? Let's look over them one more time. Okay, I was wondering if I could get back to this. So that's the important thing. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however. It left me quite concerned. Because he got killed. It came to a halt. Now of all times. Quite odd, is it not? Anubis told me again and again how odd it was. That scary dog talked? Was he like something's odd woof? I can understand Anubis's heart, even if he does not voice his thoughts. Then there's something I'd like to ask, just in case. Your scary dog's staring at me right now. He's not saying, I'm hungry, I want some meat, right? Perhaps. Perhaps? But Mr. Edgeworth? It seems she's not much good with the assassin's dog. Good boy, good boy. There's a good boy. So then, at any rate, my correspondence with the acolytes suddenly came to an abrupt halt. Hey UED, welcome! Welcome to the stream. Did you miss all the earlier stuff? Because a lot's happening. We found out the president of Jengfar was killed 12 years ago, not kidnapped. And he was replaced by a body double. The body double was in league with Patricia Rowland and Blaze the Best. And they hired Dogan to kill the president. And Dogan, he had his life saved, or they were going to kill Dogan afterwards, so he didn't tell anyone. But Dogan had his life saved by a kid at the orphanage who told him about it, that they were going to kill him. And now we're trying to figure out who the kid at the orphanage was. Because it seems like they might be the mastermind, but it seems like it's Knightley, but he's already dead. How can he be the mastermind behind all this? Definitely going to catch the stream vault later. Yeah, this is an amazing case. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one. That certainly does seem too much for a mere coincidence. Yeah, Dogan just kind of showed up. He escaped from the prison because he wants to find out what happened to his buddy. Because he was corresponding with them, and they stopped answering. Have I tried applying for a voice actor role? No, actually. No, I've had someone else ask that too, actually. Maybe I should look into that. That certainly does seem too much for a mere coincidence. The body double of Di Junhyang, the president of Jengfar, faked an assassination plot. Patricia Rowland, the prison warden, murdered Horace Knightley. And Blaze de Best, the chairman of the PIC, murdered Jill Crane. That makes sense. Come to think of it, as I have been investigating these cases, I have felt the presence of some force behind the scenes. Even within the prison, I could tell that this was no insignificant event. I grew more and more curious, so I absconded briefly from the prison. Okay. But even so, I don't really get it. Who exactly is this acolyte? Indeed, Dogan himself has not yet made that clear. What's important is the thread connecting Dogan and this acolyte, their correspondence. And not just the letters. We should pay attention to the means that was used as well. I pressed the wrong button, and I didn't press this one. You absconded briefly from prison? I cannot forgive such a criminal act. You stole your way out of prison? I cannot forgive such a thieving act. Relax. No one was hurt. I merely have connections that allow me to set foot outside. But even so, you can't just escape from prison, pal. Arrest him! Arrest him! That won't be necessary. Once my business is done, I shall return to my cell. You trying to make fools of us? A prison isn't the kind of place you can just enter and leave at will. The wolf may say that. But one can see that the wolf and his pack also share an interest in the tales of my past. Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe. There are still a few things I must ask Dogan. Please postpone matters until then. Yes, sir. I knew you'd say that, Mr. Edgeworth. Damn it all. But I'm not taking my eye off you for a second. Yeah, this is the dialogue we've seen. Alright, well, let's go back. Yeah, this one. And save. The art of the flashback when Dogan mentioned the two kids in the car. Don't think it exists as a photo. Yeah, they didn't give us a photo of it. There, go back to this part. Is there evidence connecting Knightley to the IS-7 incident? Okay, so IS-7. Don't think it's one of those. Knightley's mementos. What's we got? A ring and a chessboard. Report on Knightley. Not much to look at with Knightley's mementos. A ring. Is there anything to do with a ring in IS-7? I don't think so. Something connecting Knightley to IS-7. Most of this has nothing to do with it. Letter from unknown. Get revenge for 12 years ago. Maybe this is... There's so much evidence. We have the correspondence chess memo now. I should change this screen so I can see what I'm looking at better. There's so much evidence. It's a lot of work to get into an actual voice acting profession. Would be fun to learn some tips and tricks though, yeah. The kid's expression hasn't changed all this while. Which kid? Something connecting him to IS-7. Found in the safe of the 51st floor storeroom. That suggests a connection? Don't know? IS-7. Is IS-7 written here somewhere, maybe? Not really. I'm stumped on this one, actually. Considering how much of this game you've missed, you can't even hazard a guess, nor... This is a very complicated case, too. And I could start presenting random things, but I'd like to think about it a bit longer, rather than accidentally stumbling into the answer. Connecting nightly to the IS-7 incident. I don't know, I feel like the ring is important, but I don't really remember a ring. Try presenting this, see if it goes anywhere. This was all that Knightley left behind. Could there be a clue hidden within? Which should I investigate? The ring or the chessboard? Oh, okay. Probably the ring. I'll try chessboard first, because I think it's the ring. Obviously, we should investigate the chessboard. Huh? Miles, what are you doing taking out the chessboard? Are you saying it's evidence that connects Knightley Boy to the IS-7 incident? Uncle Ray doesn't think the chessboard has anything to do with the IS-7 incident. Or he may be right. In that case, the only piece of evidence left to investigate is... this ring is... that's right, it had that imprint on it. Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? Mr. Shields, please take a look at this ring. This pattern is... it's Pierre Hoquet's! I thought so. He had Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. I completely forgot about the whole, seal thing. Pierre Hoquet's seal. Haven't stopped me from picking the right answer by accident. Yes, it's funny how often that happens. Wonder if Dover meant to leave the kids in the car that long, or it happened because he was murdered before he could go back. Who was it who left the kids in the car? I thought it was the other guy. It's been too long. I'm forgetting. However, why would he have this? Shouldn't it have been held by the police as evidence from the IS-7 incident? After the incident, the seal was returned to the victim's next of kin, and Mr. Dover's only family was his son. But since no one knew where the son had gone to, it took a while to get it to him. I'd heard that the police had finally found him and delivered his inheritance, but... so the seal was thereby safely delivered to his son. And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person. Okay. So, Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son. The police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing over the seal. If someone involved in the IS-7 incident was his chess opponent... Knightley, huh? Then that man must be the mastermind behind this case. But Knightley is dead. He cannot be involved in this incident. How about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself, a murder victim. But a dead guy can't be the culprit, so there's no way that's right. It certainly is strange. In that case, who is the culprit? Okay. I guess we're back here. So Dover was, yeah, he was Pierre Hoquet. Okay. I'm not remembering much about him. Neither of them seemed like dads of the year. Yeah, Gustavia seemed awful. What was up with Dover? I don't really remember. He brought his kid to taste test, didn't he? Now what? I've pressed everything, haven't I? Now I've probably repressed something. We're all drawn into incidents one by one. Ah, writing letters in Braille can be a rather enjoyable pastime. Okay. Suddenly more dialogue. Excuse me, but you wrote your letters in Braille. Indeed, for I possess the tools necessary to write in Braille. Wow! So you need to use tools to write in Braille? I never knew. Then would you please tell us what you wrote? Everything. Letters, of course, but also the movements of the chess pieces. He wrote the movements of the chess pieces by hand. That statement is intriguing. So then, how does your handmade dog piece move? Okay, that question can wait. So then, what did you do when the letters stopped coming? Within the prison, I grew increasingly concerned about the acolyte's whereabouts. Okay. But even so, I don't really get it. Who exactly is this acolyte? Indeed, Dogen himself has not yet made that clear. What's important is the thread connecting Dogen and this acolyte. And not just the letters, we should pay attention to the means that was used as well. I'm confused. I'm gonna save. AN voice actor for DMC6. That would be amazing. Just going to briefly. And what happens if I repress this? That was your means of playing correspondence chess. You used chess notation for your moves. As expected, the good prosecutor has done a thorough investigation. His chess opponent was Horace Knightley, right? The ring Knightley wore. Mr. Shields, please have a close look at it. Yeah, there's no mistake. This is the evidence from the IS-7 incident. The police found Mr. Dover's son and returned it to him. If you're saying that the son was Knightley, then the acolyte, who was Dogen's chess opponent, and the mastermind was Knightley? No, Knightley has already been murdered. He cannot be at the centre of the incident. There is no doubt that the mastermind is still hiding somewhere out there. Well then, Mr. Dogen, sorry to have kept you waiting. That was a rather interesting tale, wasn't it, Anubis? I shall continue my story about the acolyte. Our long-standing chess match continued. So it's not Knightley. Who could it be then? I want to look at my profiles, but I can't at the moment. Let's repress Braille. Write your letters in Braille. Braille, okay. Braille must be important. I thought it was Dogen who planted the bug, but if he's not the mastermind, then I thought he was listening in. So is that ring Braille, maybe? I think I saved, didn't I? I'll just make sure. Does that ring say something in Braille? So what happened to the other kid? I'm so confused. Nope. And reload. Well, it's not the ring. So I'm guessing I'm looking for Braille written on something to figure out who it is. Let's change screens. There we go. This music's so good. So that meeting between Courtney and the fake president must have been very strange. Seeing as that wasn't actually the president. I don't think it would have anything to do with that. Report on nightly. Still pretty sus of Nicole for listening in on all that stuff. I like how we still don't know the actual name of the president's body double. I feel like I'm on the wrong track. This wasn't written in Braille, or maybe just... It's being sent to a go-between? I'm certain you said you wrote your letters in Braille. Correct. The good prosecutor must know that I am lacking in sight, do you not? The correspondence chest letter we found had been typed out using a word processor. What? That cannot be. What do you mean? So, someone went out of their way to retype the letters on a computer? Could another person have acted as a middleman between Dogen and Knightley? What do you mean? Dogen wrote his letters in Braille. However, by the time it reached Knightley, it had been rewritten on a word processor. We must assume that some middleman rewrote those letters. Do I know what Braille looks like? It's dots and stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it's from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire is my experience with Braille. What was your uneducated guess tag? And the reverse can also be said. That same somebody might have taken the letters Knightley wrote and redelivered them to Dogen. Yes, that is indeed true. The Ruby and Sapphire puzzles, yes, exactly. To get the Reggies. Knightley and Dogen both communicated through a certain individual. Dogen, were the letters that reached you? They were in Braille, of course. So Knightley Boy's letters must have been transposed by that same person as well. Oh? Then that somebody must be the mastermind behind the case. Not so fast. You're saying there's someone else who's the mastermind behind this case? Then who the hell is it? Dover's son, Knightley, is already deceased. In that case, there is one more youth that we should consider to be the mastermind. You mean Dane Gustavia's son? But who the heck is he? If Knightley is Dover's son, then Gustavia's son must be... Oh, okay, it was about who Gustavia's son is. Okay. Well, looks like we're about to solve that. Just occurred to you that if you don't know what Braille looks like already, then this might be a stumbling step. Yeah, actually, this game doesn't really show you what Braille looks like until you've figured that out, does it? Well, we're the only friends either of us has had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families. It can't be. Could it? Could it really be him? Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? You've gone all pale. I figured it out. The identity of the mastermind who's been controlling this case from the shadows. What? Who in the world is it? I don't want to believe it myself, but it is someone we know quite well. The mastermind is... Oh god, okay. Alright, well, it was someone at an orphanage, so... It's Sebastian. Simon Keys. Could it be Simon? Oh yeah, no, he was the friend. He delivered the chessboard for Horace Knightley. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's Simon. Maybe it's Francisco, though. What? That person is the mastermind? But according to what we've been saying, something seems kinda wrong. Naturally, this person has no relation to the mastermind after all. Are they related or not? Please take this more seriously. Arrgh! I have to think carefully. Knightley is Dover's son. In that case, Gustavia's son is... Oh, wow, the game's just pointing it out for me. Mr. Knightley was his only childhood friend. It must be this person. Mr. Edgeworth, who is the mastermind behind this case? Right, do I reload to get my health back? The key to the entire case? Yeah, I'm gonna reload. Yeah, that's a good pun. That's a good pun. I like it. Simon Keys. It can't be. That was a good reveal. Your mind is destroyed. Good time out the game for backseating. Take that! The mastermind behind this case sent a letter to Jill Crane, which deceived Blaze. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. Yeah, that's why he was hanging out. Ooh. However, of all his actions, the one I have not been able to get out of my mind is how he brought an unconscious Kay to the roof. The giant monster. Huh? Did you just say something? That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is in the monster's true form. Ah, I almost forgot. If you'd like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The very big circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Miss Swift, there is something I would like to ask of you. What? You mean me? You said that you recorded the sound of Moozilla spewing flames. Would this decisive evidence of yours be something you recorded on that tape recorder? Moozilla is the mastermind. So yeah, you can tell that Simon had the same facial expression as a kid. Oh man, that's a good detail. Wow. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. You're good at figuring things out, ain't you? It's the sound of Moozilla spewing out fire. This place nearly became a sea of flames. That's right. I ain't actually seen it with my own eyes, though. Could you let us listen to the tape? Sure thing. There we go. This sound is as I thought. So, it seems that my reasoning was correct. Now I have to figure out what this is, don't I? The circus is the final boss. Bloody circus. This is only the middle of the case. What's the end like? The true nature of the monster and the mastermind. All of my logic is coming together. Miss Hart, you said that you captured a giant eye on film, did you not? Sure did, right here in this photo. Though we cannot confirm it like this. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Lend us your film analysis device. Okay, but what do you want to analyze, sir? This photo, please. I'm on it. Is there a new clue in this photo? Well, I'm going to look at the eye last, because I think that's what we're looking for. Yep, nothing. Alright. Circus balloon, I think? They mentioned Simon using a balloon, didn't they? Yeah. Oh wait, will we get some interesting failure dialogue for this? Eureka! There's nothing unusual about this area. Okay. Nothing... Nothing unusual. Oh, okay, I need to zoom in. Yeah, he used the circus balloon. This is... See? Ain't the Moozilla's eye right where I said it would be? Need to go get some food ready, but you also want to know what happens. Oh, the end is Mo laughing for 12 hours straight. I see. I have finally grasped the true form of the giant monster that was being controlled by the Mastermind. Giant monster? Aren't you admitting it? You are, aren't you? You're admitting that the mighty Moozilla is real. She looks sad. No, this is not Moozilla. This is the eye of a different monster. Oh, I have to point out what it is, don't I? Like how you know Edgeworth is about to point when his sprite is all the way on the side of the screen. Yeah, that's great. Please have a look at this. It's a flyer for the very big circus? Oh, this is... Precisely. There is a rather large balloon with the head of a lion pictured here. This balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition, the sound Miss Swift recorded, which she believes to be Moozilla spewing flames. Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me you're going to say something that'll shatter my dreams of a scoop. You just found out the president was assassinated 12 years ago. Hot air balloons fly by using burners to heat the air, right so? Precisely, Detective. The Mastermind used this monster of his to bring Kay to the rooftop of the Grand Tower without using the elevator. Wouldn't that mean that the Mastermind is someone connected to the circus? He's a member of the circus, Knightley's friend, and Dane Gustavia's son. Who'd have thunk it? An apprentice beast tamer? He's no amateur. For the beast he has tamed is none other than this entire case. It was the monkey. Simon Keyes. He is the mastermind behind this whole incident. Mr. Keyes? Was really behind it all? No way. I don't believe it. I mean, we trusted him. How could it all have been a lie? That's just heartbreaking. Okay. What is it? Hey you! Stop! Where do you think you're going? The boy with horns is rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Now that I have heard that, I have no further business here. What? Wait! Dogan! Dog attack. Damn it! Where'd he vanish to? Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. However, that guy... John? That Dogen guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right? There is no question more difficult to answer. However, there's no use in denying the truth. Yes, John, you are correct. He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay. I'll make him pay my... John, you mustn't finish that thought. Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind. Sir, I've put out an APB on Dogen. All available police units will be searching for him. You heard the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry too. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's the Mastermind right now? Agent Lang is right. Our top priority right now should be catching the Mastermind. He said he would be practicing. He is most likely at the very big circus tent. But first, Agent Lang, I have a request. A request? What is it? Now that we've identified the giant monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive at the tent, I need you to locate that specific item post-haste. And Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on the kidnapping incident. Roger that, sir! Mr. Edgeworth, I want to help out too! In that case, you'll be in charge of calling for backup. If he is truly the Mastermind, we may require assistance from a certain someone. I met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. He may have got the better of me in the past, but this time, I'll settle it once and for all. Wow. Whoop. Dog actually suplexed Edgeworth. Yes. All these people and no one stopped him. The dog stopped Edgeworth, but everyone else had just kind of, oh no, just kind of stood around doing nothing. We calling in the killer reinforcements? I think maybe. Well, that was pretty good. This would be a good stopping point. I think I can go for a little bit longer though. I'm pretty hooked. What is it? 6:15. I might just. I'm going to overwork my voice if I keep going. Yeah, I'll stop now. I must have self-control. This case is amazing though. So we'll have to get to this next time. Actually, let's see, what are we up to? Are we up to the end section, or are we still in the middle of this case? I'm going into the final battle. Yeah, I've got to rest up. Yeah, you're right. What section is this? End. Ooh, okay. So maybe I can finish it next time. Probably not though. It's probably going to be long. At last we will destroy the circus. Okay, I'll get plenty of rest. I'll probably need to rest tomorrow. I'll see how my voice feels. And I will raid someone. Got a lot of choices today. There's people streaming. Let's send you over to Sakura. She's playing Majora's Mask Rando. Very cool. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching. This game's amazing. I love it. Whoops. That's not how you spell her name. So, Sakura Basa. I'll spell it correctly one day. Alright, thank you all very much for watching. And I'll be back either tomorrow or the day after, depending on how my voice feels. See ya!